Hola familia! Today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and this is on manifestation. And so we're talking about how to manifest your desired life, and we're going to give practical steps. Now I want to preface this video with the statement: you are already a master manifestor. I don't need to teach you how to manifest. You are already doing it, and we're doing it by default. Now, what do I mean by this? Your current experience of reality is a direct reflection of your internal belief systems, your stories, your thoughts, your emotions, your habits. So you are already manifesting. However, for many of us, we're manifesting from default. So the correct question or statement becomes, how do I manifest consciously? Intentionally? How do I manifest the life that I desire with intention and consciously without manifesting, on our default beliefs? Now, I'm sure you've seen the video, and if you haven't before, there are actually two studies, all right? One of the studies is a man with a tuning fork. The tuning fork is tuned to a certain key, and the idea is to have the vibration of the sound waves affect the other tuning fork that is right next to a ball and is supposed to hit the ball. And so the man hits his tuning fork over and over again, and nothing happens because they're tuned to different frequencies. Now, when he gets the tuning fork of the same frequency, of the same key, and he hits it, the waves, the vibrational waves, those music vibrational waves actually affect the other tuning fork through energy, through air, through the quantum field, and affects this tuning fork and therefore hits the ball. And so this is what the universal law of attraction and manifestation is trying to prove, is that it's about tuning into the right frequency. The same studies, similar studies were actually done with, and you probably remember this, is with the ice or with the water, and it's speaking words and feeling emotions around water or ice and how they crystallize and form different, molecular structures. This is the same idea, is that the internal beliefs and stories and the thoughts and the feelings are creating physical matter to evolve around us. So we're starting with the preface that you are already manifesting your life. You have been manifesting your life until now, but now we're going to learn how to consciously and intentionally manifest the life that you desire. And I have 5 practical steps with a bonus step at the end. All right, so let's start with the first and the most important step. Now, this step involves you taking stock and being aware of your internal thoughts, of your stories, of your self-limiting beliefs, of your emotions, and of your habits. These 5 things. Take stock of what they currently are. So this is very important so that you understand what thoughts and belief systems you need to change to be able to create the life that you want. Now think about it. When you're about to purchase a car and you're getting really focused and honed in on a specific make and model, you start seeing this make and model everywhere on the streets. Now, it's not that you manifested more of these cars on the roads, but it's more that you are so focused in that you're starting to see more of what you're focusing on. So this gives you an indication. What are you focusing on? Because what you're focusing on, you're going to see more of. So if you are pulling in things from social media or the news and the world, basically everything around you is telling you that this world is unsafe, it's violent, it's corrupt, it's unfair, it's unjust, and all these negative things, what you're going to see and what you're focusing on is how the world is unfair, unjust, and is not safe. And so when you go out into the world, you're going to find examples of these to prove your internal belief. And so your external reality is going to reflect back that this world is in fact not safe and is in fact very unfair and unjust. However, if you apply the same learnings and the teachings to focusing and honing in on what you want to see more of. So if you start believing that, at the same token, this world is beautiful and it's magical and the people in it are kind and they're caring and that there are many opportunities of abundance around, you are going to see more of that. Your external is going to reflect more of the abundance, of the kindness, of the caring. The world is made of polarities, all right? The world is both bad and good. It's both dark and light. All right. We live in a world of polarity. So both exist. And so it's just your choice of what it is that you want to focus more of and that you want to bring, more back, into your life. So write down those internal thoughts and belief systems, especially around the things that you want to change. If there are things around money, if there are things around your job circumstances, if there are things around your health, your fitness, write these down, become really aware. If you're not sure what your internal thoughts are or belief systems are, look to your external for the answers, because the external doesn't lie. What is the external telling you? What does your bank account look like? What does your health look like? What does your, family relationships look like? What are the relationships with your friends look like? What are your day-to-day, how do your emotions, what do they look like? This is not a place of judgment. I'm not judging anyone. This is your opportunity to actually see around you, like, you know what? I'm struggling in this department. There must be a belief, a self-limiting belief around this. What could it be? What have I learned? All right, so that's number one. We're going to use this in step number two and so on. So step number two is changing these limiting beliefs, these thoughts, these stories that you have about the world around you, about yourself, whatever it is, okay? So you're going to find stories and beliefs that contradict what you believe currently so that we can change the script. Now, sometimes we can find contradicting stories in our own lives, and sometimes we have to look outside. So what do I mean? All right, so if I feel like, one of the things that I want to manifest is discipline in my life. I feel very undisciplined. I feel very, lazy, and I'll look for an excuse to not do anything. Look for events and moments and proof in your life of situations that you've actually been disciplined in, because it's highly likely that for every sort of emotion and every sort of habit, there is somewhere in our lives where we possess this. There is somewhere in our lives that we possess discipline, where we possess the skill of abundance, where we possess, the skill of confidence. There's somewhere. So find those moments and hone into them. We're going to be using this later. So find examples of things that prove otherwise. Now, if you can't find things in your own life, then start looking externally. So here's a good example. If your dream is to manifest a life of complete freedom and you want to travel full time, but you actually don't believe this is possible, it's too expensive, there's just no way, there's no resources, you're living paycheck to paycheck, I want you to go out and find examples externally of other people doing what it is that you want to do. Go find the people who are living full-time as full-time travelers. Go look and find examples of people who are achieving or doing or creating the things that you want to do, create and achieve, to find proof. If you have a negative emotion and story and self-limiting belief around money, for instance, which many of us do, we've grown up with a belief around money that money is scarce, money doesn't grow on trees, people who have lots of money are greedy, who are bad or corrupt, etc., etc. So if you have negative beliefs around money, but you're trying to create abundance around money, this isn't going to work, all right? So you're going to have to find examples that contradict your belief around money. So go find examples of people who are making money doing what they love. If that contradicts the belief that you can't make money doing what you love, go find examples of this. Go find examples of people who have lots of money, people who are extremely wealthy, who do really good with their money, who use their money to protect this earth, who use the money to protect, children, people, etc., etc. Go find examples externally of proof that contradicts the current story and belief system that you want to change. Now, what's important as well in this exercise is to understand that even if you can't find proof in your own life, say you have a belief system like, I'll never be able to make a lot of money. I always, lose jobs, or I always get fired from my jobs, or I always find partners who cheat on me, and there's there's no proof in your life. And for something like that, you can look to somebody else's life for sure. Like, look for the examples of good men in other people's lives. Look for the examples of good jobs in other people's lives. But I want you to remember that don't base your future life on events that have happened in the past, even if they're recurring events, because what is happening is that you're creating a feedback loop, a negative one in this case, but a feedback loop nonetheless. What this means is that something happens, all right? Something happens. You land up in a relationship that is really toxic for you. This partner lies, steals, cheats, etc., etc. And it creates a belief system that men are bad, I don't deserve a good man in my life, and there's, my relationships are always going to be toxic. That belief system then pulls in the next toxic relationship, and it comes in, it reinforces that belief system, and so you find yourself in a feedback loop until you can break it. Understand that your future self, your future possibilities don't need to be based on the past. I know this is difficult. I've been there many times with many aspects of my life that are very hard to break. So be patient with yourself and be gentle with yourself, and understand that you can change. You can change the way you think. You can change the way you believe. You can change your future. But know that this is possible. You have to know that this is possible for things to change. All right, so go look for examples from other people or your life that contradict your current stories and beliefs that you want to change. Number 3, we're going to start a gratitude practice. All right, now this could sound a little cheesy, but let me explain. All right, so gratitude is one of the highest frequencies that exist. And so when I'm talking about frequencies, we're talking back about those tuning forks, right? It's vibrating at the same frequency. So the lower emotions, sadness and guilt and shame, are very low, very slow moving frequency waves, all right? And then the frequencies of gratitude and love are very high, highs, and like deep sort of waves and very fast waves. So that frequency of gratitude is extremely high vibrational. Now, the practice of gratitude and the idea of this is kind of a multitude of things. One is that you're going to start creating the wavelength to attract the very things that you want, all right? The abundance, the expansiveness, the joy, the love, the possibilities, the opportunities. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a practice of gratitude around the things in your life that you already have that you feel grateful for. Right, this is also going to take practice. I want you to be grateful for the things that you actually feel grateful for. Please don't write down things that you're actually not, you don't feel grateful for. I don't need you to feel grateful for your coffee or your morning stretches or whatever it is. Feel grateful for the things that you actually feel. And then what that's going to do is that's going to create that emotion, that vibrancy, that energy and motion to create the vibrations that you actually want to put out into the world. Think of yourself as a beacon. It's putting out like radio frequencies. And so when we're tuning a radio, the idea is that currently your radio station is in a certain, place, and it's attracting the frequencies of that station. What we're trying to do is we're trying to tune in to a different radio station that is the one that you want to listen to and the one that you want to live. And so you are this beacon radiating frequencies. And so try and get this practice of gratitude in as often as you can. Start in the morning, maybe have one at night, and then in between. You're going to start realizing that or noticing that you feel grateful throughout the day. And this is twofold. One is that you're creating this vibrancy that's going to attract the life you want. And B is that while you're attracting the life you want, while you're living, you're extremely happy, you're extremely grateful. You can pull in a life you want out of extreme frustration and hatred for your current circumstances, your job, your body, your health. I hate this. You can use this as motivation. This is Tony Robbins thinking. But it doesn't work for me. And this is why. I don't want to hate myself into a better job. I don't want to hate myself into a better body or opportunity, because The end result of what you're going after is not promised. It is not promised, but the journey to get there is. And so it's up to you how miserable you want to make that journey, or how joyful and loving you want to make that journey. You don't have to be completely fed up with your life to make changes. You don't. I used to sign into this belief system and it made me so miserable. Like, the more frustrated and angry and hating I could be about my job, that might push me to get a new one. No, it'll just make your current circumstances really miserable, and you're going to start creating dysregulation in your body. You don't have to hate the life you live to create a new one. You don't have to hate the body you have to create a new one. You can love yourself into a better body, a better job, a better opportunity. Accept your circumstances, love what you have, be grateful for what you have, and want better for yourself. This is about the journey. Gratitude is an internal attitude. What that means is that it is not dependent on the external. It's not dependent on what's happening around you, which means that no matter what's happening around you externally, you're still feeling grateful and at a high vibrancy. You still feel love. And so this is a superpower. If you're not able to be grateful for the things that you currently have, you're not going to be grateful for the things that you manifest later. I promise you, because where you're currently living right now is a life that you manifested years ago. This is something you wanted years ago. You're living it right now. And if you cannot be grateful for it, you won't be grateful for the next step. So practice gratitude for the things that you currently have. The next part of this gratitude practice is being grateful for the life that you're trying to or wanting to manifest. So what do I mean by this? If you picture your desired life, I want you to picture your desired life, where you are, what you're doing, what it feels like, and be grateful for it. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for this life where I'm doing A, B, and C. Thank you for the abundance of finances. Thank you for this beautiful community of friends. Thank you for the magic that surrounds me. Thank you for all the opportunities that keep flowing to me. I want you to practice gratitude around the things that you're trying to manifest, because this is already telling the universe that you have it. Which brings me to the next point. Point number 4, we're going to celebrate instead of wanting. So what do I mean? When we want something in our lives, what we're communicating to ourselves and to the universe is that we don't have it. I am here and it is over there. And you are going to constantly be in lack because you are chasing something that is constantly moving. I have been here so many times, and so I can really speak from experience on this and everything else that I've spoken about. So instead of wanting and creating that distance between you and the thing that you want and this state of lack, start celebrating. This feeds off the last point I made, right? Celebrate the life as if you already have it. Celebrate the body as if you already have it. Celebrate the success as if you already have it. And this feeds into every other point I've made, is that you're looking for things that have happened in your life or in other people's lives that already prove that this is attainable and that you've done it before, even if it's in small little steps. But it's celebrating and it's creating that gratitude, it's creating that excitement, it's creating that joy and that love and those high vibrational frequencies that not only feel incredible regardless of what's happening on your external. You're feeling amazing in here, but you're telling the universe, I already have this. All right, so instead of wanting and running and chasing after something or someone, start celebrating that carrot and the stick is always going to be moving, and that distance between you and the thing that you want is always going to have you and leave you feeling in lack. It's always going to leave you feeling like you're not worthy or not enough or not there yet. And you don't want to feel that. Like I said, the end result, it's not promised. All right, the journey is. So make this journey a beautiful one. All right, so adopting the habits of your desired future self. Now, this part of the 5 steps, this is the last step before the bonus, is based on learnings and teachings of Joe Dispenza, so look into him, the teachings of Tony Robbins, which I'm sure you know, And the last person is Jack Canfield on his success principles. If you have an opportunity to listen to the audiobook on YouTube, it's free, go for it. So this is around their teachings, and this is what I have adopted. Now, once you have the thoughts, the belief systems, etc., of all the things that you want to manifest in your life, now it's time to adopt the habits. Now, I do want to preface by saying this. You can adopt the habits of the desired future and desired self that you want. You can do, and you can be doing everything that's right. You can be putting in the hard work and really putting in the time and, you know, reading the material that you need to be and living the kind of life that this kind of future desired self lives. But if you don't believe that it's attainable, if you don't believe that it's yours, if you don't believe that you can actually manifest it, if that doesn't align, it's not going to happen. And again, I speak from my own experiences in life, is that I have created many almost businesses and done them really well on the practical side, but the belief wasn't there. All right, the belief that I could actually do this and I could create a business was not there, and so it never came to fruition. So make sure the thoughts and the emotions and everything is aligned. But let's talk about the habits, all right? Creating the habits of your desired future and your desired self. So let's take, for example, your dream life is to be a fit yogi who's extremely agile, all right? Now you have your thoughts, your beliefs, your story, everything set in, but it's important that your habits actually change. So let's talk about Joe Dispenza's theory. Joe Dispenza's theory is that your personality is creating your current personal reality. I'm going to say that again. So your personality is creating your current personal reality. And what that means is that your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions and your habits of your personality is creating your current personal reality. And for your current personal reality to change, your personality has to change. You cannot manifest a new desired outcome in life and person with the same personality that you have. Now, I'm not by any means saying change your core self. This is very different to your personality traits that you've adopted and you've learned over time. This is very different to who you are to the core. I'm not saying change who you are. So taking this into account, I want you to imagine that you want to be this yogi, this agile yogi, very fit, very active. You can imagine what this version of yourself looks like and feels like, and it's beautiful. Now, what does this future self possess habit-wise? What does a yogi out there, like what are their habits? What do they do? Are they on the couch sitting and eating potato chips like you are in the morning, or are they making a smoothie and stretching? What do they do with their time? How do they dress? What do they drink? What do they read? What do they absorb? What do they think? Where do they go? Take all of these into account. Nothing is too superficial than the other. You heard me say, what do they wear? This is part of Jack Canfield's book, and I really loved it, is that, this may seem superficial and materialistic, but what you wear really impacts how you feel. All right, really impacts like how you feel in your own body and how you present yourself to the world. And start dressing like that person, that future self. Start wearing the clothes that future self wears. This really, really helps. It's the same with Tony Robbins and his idea of like, how does that person stand? Does a proud man or woman with a lot of confidence stand like this with their shoulders curled in? Or do they stand out? Are their shoulders out? Do they stand tall? How are they standing? This really starts to impact the internal and how the internal feels. The external impacts the internal, and the internal impacts the external, and becomes this loop. So look into the habits of the lifestyle that you want to live. What does a person who's traveling full-time do? What work do they do? What belief systems do they have? What do they read? What do they write? How do they think? Again, back to this fit yogi agile person. Instead of grabbing that soda that you usually grab, and while you're sitting with your soda, you're imagining this amazing life of being this very agile, loose, fit yogi. What does the yogi drink? Smoothies, teas, cacao. All right, maybe we should start swapping the soda for that. Now, let me also preface this by saying, change your habits slowly. All right, don't do everything at the same time, because going from 0 to 100, you're going to fail. I promise you. Go from 0 to 10. Start slowly, one thing at a time. Start adopting that habit. Start pulling in the things that feel good. Start taking a walk instead of a run. If you've never run in your life and now you just want to start running, just start, walking. So start adopting the habits and the personality traits of this desired future and this desired outcome. And that will really help get the ball rolling into your court. All right, so this brings me to my bonus point, and this is on meditation and hape. All right, so as Joe Dispenza talks about the personal reality, creating your personality, creating your personal reality, he really has the philosophy of meditation and really rewiring your brain, rewiring your thoughts and your belief system. So meditation is a big practice of mine. In meditation, we have the opportunity to block out the external world, to go within, and to go into nothingness, where in Joe Dispenza's word, you're nobody, you're no one, and no time, nothing, all of the nothings that remind you of who you are in this space and time. So the idea is to block out the external that reminds you of who you are in this current reality, so that you can create a new reality without the outside, and you're creating from scratch. These meditations are also going to allow you to then practice gratitude and elevate those frequencies of gratitude and of love and of celebration of the thing that you already have, as if you have it already. So meditation is an extremely powerful tool. Hape is also an extremely powerful tool. So hape amplifies emotions. If you haven't noticed that already, it really magnifies and amplifies what you're feeling. And so if you utilize hape intentionally, consciously, with the intention of practicing gratitude and manifesting your desired life, this is going to amplify and magnify that gratitude and that love and that vision that you have. So what I do in my own practice is sitting with hape. I really go through my day, reciting the things that I'm extremely grateful for. But I'm not just reciting them, I am feeling them. I am feeling them in every cell of my body. I'm giddy with joy, about the morning coffee that I had and the opportunity to create music today. And wow, what a beautiful world where I get to create. And, I start going through the list. Oh my God. And, thank you for the beautiful time I had with my friend at lunch today. And I have the most amazing friends. And so you start practicing gratitude around your friend circle. And then I start moving towards the finances and my, work that I do in the world. And, and then I start practicing in the already existing items, I insert the desired outcome and thank you for ABC. I'm so grateful. So really feel it as if you already have it. The hape is going to magnify and intensify those emotions, so that those frequencies, those vibrational frequencies are, really, and then this becomes part of your daily process. So take all of those things, go through them from step 1 to 6 and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I want gratitude to become part of your daily practice, not something you put aside 5 minutes for. You can start with that. But as it starts seeping into your every cell, into your body throughout the day, and you're just like, oh my God, thank you. This is where the magic lies, all right? Every small step, every small success, every small, celebration, celebrate. If you earned $50 more this month, celebrate that. If you cannot celebrate $50 extra, how are you going to celebrate $50,000 extra? You think you will, but like I said, gratitude is an internal attitude. It's not dependent on the external. It's really a way of life. It's a way of living, and it's an internal thing. So start building up that gratitude system, and remember, you are already a manifestor. You are already manifesting your current life and your current reality. The idea is to manifest that which you want instead of that which you don't want, or by default. All right, so if you have any questions, anything you want to discuss below, let's do this. I'm here for it. This is one of my favorite topics. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. These videos take a while to create, and I love the support. It's really lovely to have people support. So if you like this video, thumbs up it. Please subscribe. You'll get notified of the next and upcoming video. Until then, I wish you a beautiful week. Live in your heart, get out of your head. Love those around you, hold them tight. I love you. Aho, gracias, thank you.